This woman is someone that a lot of Americans need to listen to because she has a story that is quite interesting. Now, Julia Davis, let me go down here. She has a DVD for sale, and her information is quite interesting. Let me go here. It says Black Hawk SWAT raid on DHS whistleblower. She was a U.S. Customs and Border Patrol officer. Her name is Julia Davis. And this is what happened. Let me see. Hopefully, you can see it on a little camera that I have. But she went through the proper procedures and reported that some people, they were illegal aliens. They weren't fingerprinted. They weren't interrogated. They weren't screened. And she went through the proper procedures and talked to the FBI, made reports so that way they would, check up on these people. And in return, this lady had one of her relatives was assaulted. More people were spent following and harassing her probably than what we spent to get bin Laden. So it was right here. It says they reported that the FBI, let me see where is that, a Black Hawk helicopter and a 27-man SWAT team followed her. And I read somewhere else, I think it was U.S. Federal Marshals, and one person from U.S. Federal Marshals went. So this lady she's a respectable person. She went to the right chain of command, and it's really sad what happened to her. And let's look at this person. This was her friend. Now her friend, she's like an actor. So, anyways, Brittany Murphy, her and her husband, like she died and her husband died at a young age. So I'm not blaming DHS. It's probably some jerk or some agent that just wanted it to get even. But let's look at what a fusion center is. A fusion center is an information sharing center, many of which are jointly created between 2003 and 2007 under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Office of Justice Programs in the U.S. Department of Justice, which the FBI is under. They are designed to promote information sharing at the federal level between agencies such as the Central Intelligence Agency, also known as the CIA, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, which is the FBI, U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. military, and state and local level government. So that means like your city hall, citizens corps. And let's look on here. As of 2009, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security recognized at least 72 fusion centers. Fusion centers may also be affiliated with Emergency Operations Center that responds in the event of a disaster. So that's probably tied to like FEMA, which Citizens Corps is under, and all these other organizations. So this thing is massive. And look, a 2-year Senate investigation found that the fusion centers often produced irrelevant, useless, and inappropriate intelligence reporting to DHS, and many produced no intelligence reporting whatsoever. The report also said that in some cases, the fusion centers violated civil liberties. So I'm not speaking bad about our government. I'm pro-government. But I'm finding some pretty horrible stuff on here. Now, let me keep reading here. Actually, I have some more notes. Let me see. Let me go to my notes here. It's just from David Ritter. I can't pronounce his last name. Rigger or something like that. Of the Cato Institute has noted a long line of fusion center and DHS reporting labeling broad swaths of the public as a threat to national security. So a lot of people, these agencies were just putting people down on a list. It says the North Texas Fusion Center labeled Muslim lobbyists as a potential threat. A DHS analyst in Wisconsin thought both pro and anti-abortion activists were worrisome. A Pennsylvania Homeland Security contractor watched environmental activists. So these contractors are getting involved in this. Tea Party groups and Second Amendment rally, we meant to put members. So the Maryland State Police put anti-death penalty and anti-Civil War activists in a federal terrorism database. A Fusion Center in Missouri thought that all third-party voters and Ron Paul supporters were a threat. And the Department of Homeland Security described half of American political spectrum as right-wing extremists. Now, this is pretty scary crap. Now, our information is being shared with different countries. And we look at Robert Duncan, watched a video about gang stalking in San Antonio and how they found that it was like, I guess, an FBI contractor or a private investigator. I mean, it's unbelievable. So we have a lot of people that are involved in. They want to put people in a state where they're going through trauma, psychological trauma, and it is a type of damage to the psyche that occurs as a result of a traumatic event. A traumatic event involves a singular experience or enduring event or events that completely overwhelm the individual's ability to cope or integrate the ideas and emotions involved with that experience, which in turn can lead to depersonalization and a whole host of psychological issues. So let me go on here because I find this unbelievable to know that someone went through the proper chain of command, made a complaint, got her friends are dead. Maybe it was an accident. I don't know. I have to do more research on it, but I just find it unbelievable to know. And then also look at this DOD to continue using Liberal Southern Poverty Law Center as a training resource. So we know they make up lists and they put all these labels on people. So the Fusion Center's DOD. I wonder if there's any targeting going on. It sounds like there is. So I just find this very interesting. Let me go back to my other notes here now. Let me keep going on because we have people saying that they're hearing voices to skull. I don't hear any voices. Now, if you call the FCC, they're not going to help you, but I made a note here. It says certain agencies in the federal government have been involved in monitoring and researching or regulating issues related to human exposure to RF radiation. These agencies include the Food and Drug Administration, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, and the Department of Defense. You need to start contacting these people. If someone's harassing you with acoustic weapons or any type of weapons, contact these agencies. Our government is supposed to be here for us. Now, let me keep going on. Since we're here in 2014, the Justice Department refused to adopt key reforms that would benefit FBI whistleblowers. The department rejected judicial review, the incorporation of administrative law judges, time limits for decisions. They've had cases going on for like 10 years from what I heard. So there's a lot of things that people don't want being told. And then we also look at what the FAA, Department of Homeland Security doesn't have the authority to land a Black Hawk helicopter on a small, short woman and, at her house, attack the family. And they came down. Let me see right here what the law states. Aircraft operating under visual flight rules outside of beneath tower airspace are not required to use air traffic services and fly unrestricted. A pilot missed blah, blah, blah. Let me keep going on. Maybe I'm missing. I'm so tired. Okay, where is it at? We see the Federal Aviation Regulations, FAR, Part 91, period 119, indicates that except when necessary for departure and landing, the minimum altitude over urban areas is 1,000 feet above ground level and 500 feet AGL over rural levels. And I've had helicopters come down like 10 feet over my house 2 times. One of my friends couldn't believe it. I was at a place and they came down like 13 feet, about maybe a little less. And I was also reading the site from PAX. You want to go there? They have this lady here. Let me see. I'll get her URL. Maybe I think I already have it on there. So I find all this information real interesting. Now, something's happening with my browser here. I'll get it later. So let me go back to this this lady here, Julia Davis, because this is real interesting. So she experienced a tremendous amount of retaliation. A total of 54 retaliatory investigations have commenced in an attempt to discredit Julia as an upstanding law enforcement officer and staunch American patriot. I mean, what she went through included warrantless aerial surveillance, a fixed-wing airplanes, and a Black Hawk helicopter's vehicular surveillance, OnStar tracking, internet monitoring, wiretaps, warrantless searches, and seizures, and a series of outrageous, unwarranted retaliatory measures. I'm so tired I can't even speak now. I haven't slept all night. I just want to share this. In a startling culmination, the DHS conducted a commando-style raid on Davis's home with a Black Hawk helicopter and a special response team, 27 agents, and one U.S. Marshal assaulted the residence, breaking down the doors and brutally assaulting Julia's parents. Now, what is going on here? This lady, has done everything in her power to follow the protocol, and she was attacked. Is this the new America? Is this the America that we have now, where we have liberals that want to, like, and I'm not even a Republican, but I respect liberals. I respect Democrats. I respect everyone, but I just I don't understand. This group is supports radical feminists. They're getting money from from feminist groups that support all this abortion and stuff. Maybe I shouldn't say anything about that. But anyways, I just find it odd. I find it odd that DOD, look at all these organizations, ADL, and all these civic groups, colleges, they have all this community engagement going on. And that's all, to me, it's like what you see mostly like in communist countries. It's good to, be engaged, community-oriented policing, but now it's like we have so much information sharing. And see, people, don't be mad at a lot of these gang stalkers because they're paid. All these people that went in that helicopter to that woman's house, to that little woman's house, they think in their minds they're doing their jobs, but they're not doing their jobs. That's illegal activity. It's unethical. This is the America that we're living in, people. If you think it's bad now, wait till we get another one of these liberals in office. We're going to be screwed because you read all things I've shared has all been about targeting people. So this lady was being systematically harassed. They were tapping into her OnStar radio. They were harassing her following her around in cars. That sounds like the typical case of a target individual. Now I'm so tired I can hardly talk. I've been up the whole night planning this all out to share this little bit of information. That way I can go ahead and I can, people can look and they can see, hey, this man's not lying. We got targeting going on in this country. I'm not accusing DHS of doing this alone. I'm accusing a lot of other organizations of doing this to people. Now, this came from the PAC's website. I don't know if you can see this lady's URL. She's a clinical, psychologist. So you can call her and talk to her. She has small fees. Some of them are a little over, $100, $200, but some of them are short. Get letters, so it can be submitted to Department of Health and Human Services. So if you've been lied upon by one of these doctors that are involved in this, so they pretty much stalked this woman and tried to discredit her and ruin her. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that real interesting when we look at, and then, hold on a second, I'm not done yet. So let me go here. I have more stuff. Now, when we look at Citizens Corps, we see that NASA, all the post office, it's a massive amount of organizations. Not to include, if you go to the site where it's like Wikipedia Citizens Corps, and many people have no idea it's way deeper than that. It goes as far as our search engines. They donate money to different organizations too. So there's this link after. There's just so many videos that are exposing what is going on, but Americans are not watching. Now, one of my best friends growing up was a Freemason. Let me read this right here. It says right here, the retrospect teaches that the individual at least 5 great truths concerning life. Truth 1, that we all enter this world helpless and dependent on others for immediate survival and development. 2, that we also enter this world equal, not in terms of physical attributes or mental abilities or material endowments, but in terms of our mortal condition, blah, blah, blah. Your admission into Freemasonry in a state of helplessness, indigence was so anyways, I'm going to stop. I'm so tired I can't hardly talk. But anyways, so I find this all interesting. So for all these people that are, Freemasons and stuff, let me see if I can make this bigger. Remember that you're dealing with a lot of these people that are targets, that are target individuals, and you guys work in these government offices. Remember us. Remember that, this right here, truth 1, that we all enter this world helpless and dependent on others for immediate survival and development. And please don't believe these people that are going around saying like, hey, this person's bad, unless you know them. Because we clearly see what happened to that one lady. She was gang stalked. That one lady, Julia Davis, And we have all these people. They're saying like, hey, there's something going on here. You know, even Ron Paul. Let me see where that one was at. So let me keep going here. Here it is. Google search that video right here. Let me go back. So there's been targeting going on in our country. And this is probably one of the best videos. She doesn't provide proof like everyone else, but that video, you know, it's the truth. It is the truth. In my computer, I don't know what's happening. I have a mouse here. It's moving by itself. The pictures. So I'm experiencing some hacking here. But I have no reason to lie. I'm sharing the truth. I made this video with love. I mean, I haven't slept since yesterday. I've been up all this time praying so I can have some closure to all this gang stalking, hopefully, and show people, hey, I'm not crazy. People that are being gang stalked, they're not crazy. This is a real thing. People are being harmed in America. There is a modern COINTEL program, you know, operating in America, and you know, it's happening. You know, we see it through our fusion centers, DHS, through FEMA, our legal system, and this is the best country in the world to live. But we need to not harm people because they follow protocol and they don't harm no one. And what happened to this lady was disgusting, and it's happening to Americans all over this country. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.